What's up, guys? Jake with Tantastic. We're coming with a special top 5 video today. We're looking at the top 5 things, releases, announcements that were shown at SHOT Show 2023. Like most of you, I myself did not actually go to SHOT Show. If you did go to SHOT Show, let me know down below. I'm sure it was a lot of fun. I'll probably go next year for sure. I thought it'd be better if I just focused on the 5 things that caught my attention the most, that I am most excited about, and I think you guys are going to really look forward to in the coming year. Now, while this top 5 list is not really in any particular order, I did try and make it be sort of where number 5 might be the least exciting and number 1 might be the most exciting. You guys tell me how you think I did, and if you have any disagreements or if there's anything I may have missed because there was a lot of stuff going on, let me know down below. I would love to hear from you. Without further ado, let's get to our top 5 list today. Starting with number 5, Glock is in fact releasing a new trigger. They're finally coming out with a performance trigger. That's literally what it's called, the Glock Performance Trigger. It's going to come in at $99. This will only fit for your Gen 5 9mm. So you're talking about your Glock 19, 45, 47, 19X. They didn't actually mention 17 from my research I did, but I would imagine probably Glock 17s as well. Will not fit in Gen 4s, Gen 3s, or anything below that either. In addition to that, it will not work with your slimline Glocks, so your 43s, your 43Xs, 42s, stuff like that. This is only going to fit with the double stack big boys. So with all the negativity out of the way, the good news is this is going to be a 3.5 pound trigger pull, roughly estimating. Again, $99, so it's a lot cheaper than some other options out there. They claim it's still going to be safe and reliable because, again, it is coming from Glock, and they're giving it that stamp of approval. The interesting thing that really stood out to me about this trigger is it's going to have a sear and a sear holder. The sear holder is going to hold the striker back, kind of like a single action Canik, if you will. So that way, when you actually do pull the trigger, all it does is release that sear holder and the striker moves forward. Again, if you've ever shot, say, a Canik handgun recently, it's got a similar mechanism where the striker will actually stay back there for you until you pull the trigger, and then it'll release internally and the striker will move forward. So it looks like they're kind of moving that same direction. So Glock Performance Trigger is going to have to be the number 5. Not terribly exciting, but if you're a Glock fanboy like myself, it is still something to kind of get a little bit hyped up about. Number 4 is going to have to be the EOTech OGL. This stands for On Gun Laser. Very intuitive. Essentially, you're looking at what looks similar to a PEC box. It's a little bit smaller, about the size of a deck of cards, according to them. 7 ounces, takes one CR123 battery. Now, initially, this is only going to be available to military law enforcement, and it's going to be coming at roughly a price point of $21.99. My understanding is this is going to have 3 things involved. There's going to be an IR laser, a Vis laser, which those two will actually align so that when you line up and zero the visible laser, the IR laser will also be zeroed. In addition to that, there is going to be an IR emitter as well. So very similar to PEC and your D-balls and your MAWs and all that. The thing that stands out to me the most is on the IR emitter, you're going to have a little slider that allows you to adjust the width, the diameter of the beam coming out. So that way if you need something really narrow that pushes out further, like a narrow flashlight, you can do that. Or if you need something with a little bit more flood, a little bit more spread, you can adjust that slider so you get a little bit more of a blown out effect for your emitter. So very cool, very nice. After the initial run for the military law enforcement models, they are going to look at coming out with a consumer friendly version. Essentially what that means is the laser is going to get nerfed. It's going to get blue balled because God forbid that if you're targeting someone with a firearm, the last thing you want to do is accidentally give them an involuntary LASIK surgery. Good on them for that. Everything's going to be more or less the same as far as other specs and features go. The price should come down from that initial $21.99 for the military law enforcement. As far as that, when that comes out, we're looking at roughly a Q4 release for the military law enforcement version. And then later on, again, probably next year, we'll see the consumer-friendly version. If it can be competitive in price to your other PEC boxes and IR laser systems and all that, I'll be very interested. Now this one may surprise you, but number 3 is going to have to be the PSA STG-44 that they just announced that they're coming out with. So this is a reproduction of the original STG-44. The German war machine churned these babies out, and it was essentially the great-great-grandfather of the modern assault rifle, or sporting rifle, however you want to call it. The whole idea being magazine fed, high caliber rounds, rapid cycling, all that good stuff. This looks really freaking cool. Now the thing about it is it's not going to be exactly like a one-to-one reproduction. There is going to be some variety in calibers. I think they said they're going to start off with 5.56, 7.62 by 39, and I think maybe 9mm or something like that. One thing that upset people is the original caliber, which was 8 something. I can't remember what the caliber is. I'll put it down below. The original caliber that the STG-44 was made for is not being reproduced by PSA, so that's unfortunate. I get it. Most people have 9mm, 7.62, and 5.56, so I get why they did that. But still, would have liked to have seen an option for the original caliber that was chambered in as well. It's going to probably piss off some of the purists out there that want to see exactly a one-to-one reproduction. I'm just excited to have something like this come out, and as we learn more about this, I will definitely keep you up to date. Number 2 on our list is going to have to be the Canik MC9, the Mete MC9, if you will. This is a micro compact 9mm coming out from Canik. It is optics ray, and it will co-witness with your front rear sight. It took about 3 years for Canik to develop this, and comes in a little bit smaller than the competition. Length is about 6.1 inches. It is going to have a thickness of 1.12 inches, and it's going to have a height of 4.52 inches. Barrel length is just over 3 inches. Come with 2 mags. It's going to give you 12 plus 1 for the regular, and then there's going to be a mag with an extended base plate that holds 15 plus 1 in the chamber. In addition to that, you're going to get all of your mandatory Canik goodies that come in right out of the box. So you're going to get an in-waistband holster. You'll get 3 different back plates, and a whole bunch of different little tools and stuff that come in with it, because that's what Canik kind of does nowadays. And it's going to come in 3 different color options: black, flat dark earth, or a 2-tone color combination of those two. Comes in roughly about $439.99, so $440 really. And it's going to be released in March of this year. So extremely exciting. I know there's still some people out there that like to nag on Canik. They like to say that because it's cheap, it may not be of good quality. But so far, here we are. They're still killing it, and we've not really seen too many issues with Canik overall. They just seem to be a good quality product. I'm really hoping there's no issues with the MC9 as well. Now, last but not least, number 1 on my list. The coolest thing I saw at SHOT Show, and it really shouldn't come to surprise. If you saw any footage from SHOT Show, this probably caught your attention too. My number 1 pick for SHOT Show 2023 is going to have to be the Holosun Night Vision Thermal Red Dot they are coming out with. Right now it's technically being called the DRS, which stands for Digital Reflex Sight. And this is going to be a red dot that'll have the option to toggle on thermal or night vision. This thing has been catching on like a wildfire, because as soon as you get in your hands and you try it out, you are just blown away by it. They don't have a lot of specs out there currently on this thing, so I don't have battery life or anything for distance with the thermal or anything like that. It is going to be digital night vision, and it will be digital thermal, and based on all the footage I could find, it looks freaking incredible. It has a few different modes, like a white hot, black hot. It's got like an outline mode, I believe, as well for the thermal and stuff. And it is an incredibly feature-rich package that comes in a really small size that can just fit on top of your rail. This is not the first time this particular style of optic has been done. Steiner has the CQT that was announced way back in 2019. This was an optic that does almost the exact same thing, has a lot of the same features, so a little bit bulkier and bigger. It had all the same features with the thermal overlay on top of the regular daytime use of the red dot and all that good stuff. The thing about the Steiner CQT that made it unachievable for most people was that it cost about $10,000. Yes, you heard me right, $10,000. And that was way more expensive than I think most people are willing to pay for an optic. However, Holosun, doing what Holosun has always done before, has brought these to market at a much cheaper price. The night vision version is going to be $999, which is very cool. Night vision, let me tell you, I'm getting into it, so they're already crushing it with that. In addition, there's going to be 2 different thermal varieties. There's going to be like a standard thermal model, and then there's going to be like a pro thermal. It's basically higher definition quality. The standard one is going to cost $16.99, so $1,700. The Pro version is going to be $23.99, so essentially $2,400. I don't know if you've ever delved into the night vision or thermal game before or done much research or looked into it, but both of those prices, both for the night vision and thermal, are incredible. Like, it's like the mass market is finally going to have access to night vision thermal at a reasonable price. These things are still a ways away off. They are currently targeting Q4 for this year. We'll see how it goes. It honestly could take longer though. We really don't know much specs on it. Again, can't give you much detail on it, but from what I gather, this thing is going to be a significant game changer. Let's hope that all these companies can truly deliver on what they promised us. I need something. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video today. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Did you check out any SHOT Show? Let me know what you think. Maybe there's something I missed on this list that you think is worth our time at looking at. I'd love to hear from you. We will see you next time.